I'm Sofia Bernardi, mindset and business coach, supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business using the Rising Coach method. I built a multi-six-figure business by the age of 24, and in this podcast, I will teach you the psychology, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things not to do when creating 10K months in your coaching business. Often I'm sharing with you all of the things that you could or should be doing, but today I'm going to be doing the complete opposite, and of course showing you what to do instead so that you have something to action from today's episode. It's really easy in the online space to get caught up on what we should be doing or what we're supposed to be doing when creating 10K months in our business. But there are absolutely some things that we should not be doing, and by removing them or reframing them or tweaking and changing them, that in of itself is going to lead us towards what it is we desire to create. I'm going to share just 3 of these things today just to keep it really simple. So let's start first and foremost with a mindset practice, which is comparison. That is something we absolutely should not be doing in our business or in our life, for that matter. It is so easy to get caught up in other people's results and highlight reels on social media. This is something I get stuck with myself every now and again, or definitely used to in the past, but I've since learned how to reframe it, and I'll chat about that in a moment. But when you compare yourself to other people's results, firstly, you're only comparing yourself to this 1% of their experience. You're not actually seeing the behind the scenes or the other side of it, or maybe the potential exaggeration or things being cut out of what it is you're noticing. And so it's really important to take that into account. And that's why it's simply just not healthy to compare in a negative way, because you just don't know the full picture. So whilst you're seeing and experiencing the full picture of your situation, of there being ups and downs and highs and lows and everything in between, I can guarantee you everyone else is experiencing that too, but you're just seeing the highlight reel, which can leave you feeling really deflated and stuck and not good enough. And it's just really important to remember that you're often only seeing this very, very small, perfectly tailored situation, and there's always another side. Comparison simply kills dreams, and this held me back so much in the beginning of my business, because it's really hard to take action when you feel really crap about yourself. And so learning how to avoid comparison and reframe it so that when it does happen, it's happening in a really healthy way, that you can move through it and move forwards quite easily, right? Because comparison does serve a positive purpose, but not many people know how to tap into that, right? And this is where having a really, really strong CEO mindset is going to be absolutely key, so that you can compare naturally, but not make it mean something about you. So instead, what you want to do is really stay in your own lane. If you have to mute people or unfollow people on social media, do it. Like, I've done that with several people, and it's really, really served me, because I just would get into a negative mindset by comparing myself to certain people if there was something they say or do that triggers me in some sort of way. I don't need to get to the root cause of every single one of those situations and resolve it so that I can look at everything and never get triggered. Instead, just mute them. It really doesn't make any problems by doing that. They're not going to know if you mute them, and it's just going to allow you to focus, right? So I've done this a lot, and it's really, really served me. Even if I love those people, sometimes just seeing people that only share the highlight reels can be just triggering, right? And I really do my best to, for that reason, share the ups, the downs, the highs and the lows and everything in between, to be as transparent and as vulnerable as I can. And I know that everyone's doing the best that they can, and I just don't need to see it all, because it distracts me, right? And stops me from being able to focus. There was even one point in my business where I did unfollow everyone. I followed 0 people on social media, and I can't tell you how much more I got done, how much less I compared myself, and just stayed in my own lane, right? Pour all of that love and energy that you would usually literally spend scrolling on social media and following other people's lives and keeping up with what they're doing and how they're doing it. Instead, pour that into creating the most epic program out there. Add more value to people. You'll find when you're comparing yourself less to other people, your creativity will spark back up again, and you'll actually think of your own unique ideas rather than trying to model other people to a T. Just get one coach and stay with them and focus, on the process that you're teaching rather than trying to do what everyone else is doing, leaving you feeling confused and, quite frankly, just far away from your results, right? Okay, so just focus on adding value and helping people rather than comparing yourself to where you should be, right? There is just success is not linear, and it looks different for everyone, and things can turn around very, very quickly. I've in the past compared myself to people who are now dear friends of mine, and when you become friends with people, you see a whole different side, and I couldn't believe how much I compared myself to this person. She's one of my best friends now. I love her, but I compared myself so much, and only to realize that there was just a lot going on behind the scenes, and there's just always more to it than you realize. And I think it's really, really important to realize that. And if you're not sure if that's true or not, just ask yourself, all those moments where you might be upset or experiencing challenges, are you jumping on social media and sharing that with people? Are you sharing the other side? Probably not. And so just remember that everyone else is the same. Interrupting this podcast episode to talk to you about my program, Rise to Coach. If you're ready to make money as a life coach or service provider, I want to invite you to join my Rise to Coach program, where I teach you how to make your first sale, which is the hardest part of building any business. It's risk-free. You either love it or I give you your money back. Just head over to sofiarosebernardi.com/rise to coach. We'll see you inside. The same. Number 2 is to stop trying to do it all, especially in the early stages of business. Just because you've seen success with someone creating TikToks and Reels doesn't mean you need to be doing it. Just because you've seen someone really succeed in collaboration marketing doesn't mean you need to do it. Just because you've seen someone do really, really well on LinkedIn doesn't mean you need to do it. Pick a platform and stick to it, right? Stick to mastering that rather than trying to half do so many things, leaving you feeling stressed and overwhelmed, right? It's just not necessary. People that are doing really well, it's because they're focusing, on mastering one thing, or they have the systems and structures and support to be able to do more than that, right? So it's overwhelming as it is to start a business, let alone trying to keep up with all of the new trends, right? If you find a process or a strategy or a platform that really resonates with you, of course go all in on that, but don't try and keep up with absolutely everything when it's evolved to continue to change. Just master one thing at a time, okay? So you'll see people succeed with many approaches and tell you that is the be all end, like email marketing is the best, YouTube's the best, TikTok's the best, Instagram's the best, Facebook's the best. You'll hear people say that. And that's because that's what they're selling or that's what they're doing, right? And that's amazing. And they all do work, but you've got to stick to mastering that, and you've got to be consistent with that. You've got to be strategic with it. You've got to be, confident with it. And that's how you get good at it. And it's going to be hard to do all of that when you're trying to do that with every single platform, okay? So the reason those people are succeeding is because they're pouring the time and energy into that one process or strategy, not trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? Number 3, stop avoiding sales. Yep, I said it. Stop avoiding sales, okay? Stopping avoiding the thing that's actually going to allow your business to grow, okay? So sales isn't sleazy unless you believe they are, okay? When you learn to sell from your heart, it's actually really, really easy, okay? It's not only easy, but it becomes enjoyable. Why? Because someone is just about to change their life. And when you truly believe in yourself, in your program, and in your potential clients, selling truly becomes a gift. And this is very, very powerful. So don't avoid the very thing that's actually going to make you money. Instead, learn how to love it. Make offers and make lots of them. I'm making an offer every single day on my Instagram stories. I make offers every single week on my podcast episodes. I make offers in my Facebook lives and my Instagram lives. I'm making offers with conversations I'm having with people if I believe that I can help them and that they're stuck in their own way. You want to make lots of offers. The people that are making lots of money are making lots of offers, right? You can't make money if you're not making offers. So you have to get comfortable with it. You have to realize the power in it. It's not salesy and sleazy unless you make it that way. There is a way to learn a soulful sales approach that feels good and brings in results. And it's so important to focus on that, okay? So are you creating offers and offering them to people? Because creating an offer is just one piece of the puzzle. You've got to actually then make those offers to people so people know about it and hear about it by marketing it and promoting it and selling it, right? If you're not doing that, if you're not making offers, this is your top priority, right? Is changing your mindset around it and learning a strategy that feels good so you don't feel like it's salesy and sleazy all the time, okay? Sales do not come without making offers. I can't say it like any more simple than that. So they're the 3 things that you should not be doing if you want to create 10K months. Comparison, trying to do it all, and avoiding sales. And instead, you should stay in your own lane, pick a platform and master it, and make offers regularly. All right. I hope you liked that bit of a change up in episodes this week to support you with what you really should be focusing on rather than getting in your own way all of the time. Let me know which step resonated with you most. Come chat with me on Instagram. I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback as always. If you have podcast recommendations that you would like me to talk about on here, let me know and I will happily create episodes for you guys because it's you that's listening to it at the end of the day. And if you really are enjoying the podcast, please share it with a friend or two. Pop it on your Instagram stories and tag me. It means the world. I will reshare it as well and come give you some love in the DMs. It really, really means the world to me because that is how this podcast gets out to more listeners, is when you share it, and that allows me to keep going, and I love it. So I hope you have a magical rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're listening to this. I hope you're doing something today that's going to move you towards your goals and makes you feel good. Give yourself a little hug right now if you're listening, and I'll speak to you in next week's episode. All my love, and I'll speak to you soon. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared my podcast to your Instagram stories. All you need to do is screenshot this episode and share it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at Sofia Rose Bernardi. I would love to give you a virtual hug and say thank you.